Okay, man, I think I saw there that I wasn't scheduled for what, 5 minutes, but we are already live here. Welcome to what I call this mga pita or let's drink some coffee where we talk anything and everything under a cup of coffee. And right now, this is a very special topic, which is cybersecurity and cybercrime, which I was a victim of just last year. So stay tuned because we do have a special guest and we're going to talk more about that. Okay, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, ding ding, so that every time we do a live broadcast, you will be notified. My guest here has been a previous guest of mine. He needs no further introduction. And yep, it's all about cybercrime, cybersecurity. Facts first. There are 4.66 billion internet users globally, according to Statista, and it comprises at least 60% of the global population. This new normal comes with increasing cybersecurity challenges, and the most prominent of which is ransomware. And our guest, we will talk more about that cybercrime, cybersecurity. Please help me welcome. He is uh, just short thing, the executive director of Flames Foundation, an author. He's a blockchain crypto educator, Flames founder and advocate, Fred Brandon. Fred, how are you, my friend?
How you doing, Doc Vince? Good to see you.
Good to see you. First question that I always ask my guests, because like the title of the show, Mga Pita, do you drink coffee?
Yes and no. I'm more of a tea drinker, but
Oh, okay,
yeah, I
okay.
drink I drink more tea now. But yeah, there's I've been known to have a cup of Joe every now and then.
What made you decide of choosing tea over coffee?
Oh man, long story, but I'll put it this way: uh, tea is better for you, and I'm gonna just go and stick with that. I mean, just the caffeine and all of that good stuff. So I have my like natural caffeine, so I'm always up. So I don't necessarily need to be awake. So yeah,
Mhm.
but I got you. I got my tea right here with you.
It's the health benefits. I might change the show instead of mga pita. Let's drink some tea.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now, Fred. Before we go to our main topic, maybe you could talk more about yourself, background in the IT world, what you have been doing lately.
All right, so yeah, I've been in the tech world for a while. Did a little bit of front end development. So all the good things that's going on right now with Web3, so HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and all of those type of things. I've done those things previously. Moved into done a lot of things with Microsoft, whether it's in the cloud or infrastructure or things like SharePoint and Office 365. I've done that. Also been in the cybersecurity world. So this kind of is really pushing me to where what I'm doing right now is really working with cryptography, blockchain,
Mhm.
cryptocurrency, things of that sort. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Nice. Now talking about cybersecurity, last year I got hacked. I'm a victim of identity theft just because of that phishing thing offering me in YouTube that, we want to collaborate with you and we will pay you this much if you're going to advertise our product. And then, not knowing that that's one of their scams, I downloaded supposedly a link that's where the malware is. And, it literally, what do you call that? What's the term? He just went into my desktop and got all my documents, all my identity and stuff. They
Right.
applied for a bank account. It's like what they were able to open a bank account and at the same time went to my trading account, take all of my money and splurge.
Right.
So oh my goodness. And
Man.
I saw Coinbase also being hacked last year, last I think May or April. So and even the president of the United States was talking about You got to take some cybersecurity course
Right.
because cybercrime is rising up. So um, maybe you could talk more about first cybercrime, then we go to cybersecurity. The importance of of this thing.
Yeah, I think it's as long as the internet has been around, there's been cybercrime. So we
Mhm.
have to kind of realize that this isn't something new. But there are a lot of different attempts that's coming out. There's always been those phishing attempts. Click on this, send me this, subscribe to this. Any something that you have to click on or download is the big way that they're spreading Trojans, viruses, worms, a lot of different things, right? So I think one of the things that we really need to understand exactly what cybercrime is, and how it's affecting a lot of people. Then we also need to start going into, well, how can we protect ourselves?
Mhm.
Because a lot of these things are could easily be in some of the apps that we download, or things that we subscribe to, or even websites we visit. So it's really about education in this space.
Yes, and educating ourselves, because the thing is, like, you have those, even those big companies, big corporations. You hear about being ransomed by hackers, getting all their data and all those stuff. But they have money. They're insured. The
Right.
retail, the consumers, the middle income group
Right.
doesn't have that kind of insurance, even the money to, you know, uh, knowledge per se, even the knowledge to protect themselves. And oftentimes we are the victims, like the middle income group, low income group, and especially with those text messages, man, on an Android phone, and they could just exploit your phone, and
Exactly.
that's considered cybercrime. Am I correct?
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many different levels to this,
Mm-hmm.
and there's we call it like social engineering, right? That is one aspect of cybersecurity that you really understand. Once you really understand it, people are they're trying to social engineer you in a lot of different ways, whether it is perusing your social media, or the way that they talk to you in person. Social engineering is not just something that can be done online, but it can also be done in person as well. Some of the questions that you ask and things of that sort are ways that people get to know a little bit more about you, or in that recon phase of cybersecurity.
So let's go here first. How do we protect ourselves from cybercrime?
That's a hard question. That's a hard
That's a
question to
rough
answer. Uh, that is not an easy answer, but it starts with education, right? We really need to educate ourselves about what the possibilities are, right? Understand exactly what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what type of things we should use and not use or click on. Those are a lot of different things that we really need to start educating ourselves with. So it kind of starts at home. So understanding, what type of, router or modems or switches or any of those type of things that you're using, making sure you're locking that down, or, making sure you're having a secure password, things of those sorts are where it kind of starts. But it can go, it's really more in depth, depending on, what you're doing. I mean, we are kind of really thinking about a lot of these things being online and being on our computer, but we also have to think about these things on our phone as well, because our
Mhm.
phones are nothing but little computers, right? Handheld computers. So we have to make sure that we're protecting ourselves in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, 5 tips that you can give for common people on how to protect themselves first on their computer at home and with on their cell phones as well.
So some of the probably most common ones is making sure you have a VPN. That helps. Not is not foolproof,
Hmm.
and there are a lot of different VPNs that you can buy. You would also want to make sure that like you want to harden your system, right? But even hardening your system, it has its own risk, because you can make something so secure that you can't even get in it. So just make sure that you know, you know, um, it's
Wait,
like
wait, wait, wait. Before you move forward with that, I did that recently, bro. So I tried to make things so secure that I forgot my password, and
exactly.
you forgot what are the steps. Did I do a 2FA or did I do a Google Authenticator? And then going on those steps, it's too secure, but it's a hassle that you forget. You
Right.
forget. Anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead. Oh my goodness, that's so
But
funny.
yeah, so those are just some of the things that you can start doing,
Mm,
on your phone as well. You just like, I think we really have to be careful or be mindful of the things that we download, right?
right.
Everything is probably not for you. Whether it is a something that is a app or
Mm,
something that seems to make your life easier, right? Um, yeah, it might not necessarily be the best for you. So please do your research in anything that you download before you just start clicking on it. Sometimes we have to realize that there are spoofed addresses, right? It might not be google.com, it might be goggle.com or something like that. It'd be so close that we click on it. It has the icon. It kind of looks like it. They probably spoofed a page and you click
mm,
on it and you go through and now you're in that trap. So, like I said, I think it's a little bit more just education, kind of
mm,
understanding how to protect yourself, whether you adopt a strict password program where that you are going to change it every couple of weeks, months, or whatever, however you decide to do that. Making sure that you have a strong password always. 12 to 14 characters, uppercase, lowercase, number, special character, things of that sort. Things that 12 to 14. That's just the suggested. If you want longer, go for it. But you want to not necessarily keep it a lot shorter than that because so yeah, those are just some of the things that you can start doing.
yeah, one use case is like for the emails, like you mentioned about spoofing. I got an email coming from Chase bank account.
Right,
It says that my account has been compromised. You should go to this so-called box or link so that customer service would help you out
right,
in resetting your password. If I had not looked at the real email address, which is not
yeah,
really Chase, it's
right,
like wrong spelling and all of those stuff.
right,
I could be another victim of that fraud because they'll be getting my password and my username to access my bank account. And
right,
they people scammers have been doing this they're very diligent on this one. They're like raptors, predators,
right.
just zoning on you. Now, next thing is I get um if I were, if these things happened to me, I got hacked, and what would be the best step? For example, I got, identity theft. What's the first thing I should do to secure or these things won't happen again?
Yeah, I mean that's a once again that's a very heavy question, man. I mean, like I said, it all boils back down to education, right? There's a lot of different things where you can have the securest home security system and everything else. It could have lasers and dogs and sharks with lasers on it, right? You could have everything on it, and then you was like, oh, I forgot to lock it up, or I left the door open. So it still boils down to the user
Right,
at the
right.
end of the day, right? So you can have the most elaborate system and still leave the back door open, and then everyone still can come in your house. So just really, like I said, it's all about education, making sure you get into a lot of like safe practices where
Mhm.
you're not necessarily putting a lot of your information out on the internet. You're not putting a lot of you're not making it very easy for to be a victim. I think that's probably the easiest answer to that, because it's there's always time, right? Anything can be broken in time, right? As long as they have time, they could probably break something to do whatever, right? So there's not going to be one foolproof method to say that you can never be hacked again, or never be a victim again. But it's
Right.
more of just preparing yourself and making sure that you are taking all the necessary precautions, and you have things that you're doing your checks. You're making sure that that link is really that link. Whether you have to mouse over it and actually see where the real URL is going, and if it's the actual spelling or anything like that, or
Mhm.
even more, you probably don't want to click on that link at all, right? So if you had Chase and you don't click on the link in the email, you go directly to Chase, right? You
Mhm.
type in the Chase URL easier, go there and do whatever you need to do, or call Chase directly, not from the number that they give you in the email, but that directly from their website.
And this is what I'm really impressed on what you're doing, because you're teaching, you have this foundation on helping out people, educating people, not just the youth but also with the adults. Talk to me about Flames. Talk to me about your recent nonprofit, especially with the new course that you already uploaded there.
Yeah, so if you go on to Flames, is fbflamesfoundation.org. That is going to be the new foundation that I started. It's a nonprofit organization that's helping people learn new skills, and one of those skills will be cybersecurity. So that is going to be your best bet to start learning about phishing, and start learning about things that you can start doing right now. Not
Mhm.
necessarily, making sure you have a good virus protection and things of that sort. We really need to start, being more uh, on the offensive, and less on the defensive.
Yes, and the thing is that you start them early to protect themselves, protect their future, protect their business and other people's business. Because once they know how to do this, learn earlier, then it's so right. It's more of a offense rather than defense. Now, cybersecurity, that's one of the courses. It's already up there. Am I
Right.
correct?
Yes.
A- and how long is the course, or the curriculum? Now, while waiting for Fred, we did have some glitches there, but we talk about all of those stuff, that cybersecurity, cybercrime. Man, it's a hassle once you become a victim of identity theft. Like for me, several months ago, like last year, that's where my trouble is. And they took out my crypto from my trading account, and at the same time, they were able to make their own bank account. So using my credentials, that's funny. No, it's not funny. So they took away most of my portfolio, and I the things that I did. Number one, I went to identitytheft.org. I have to report it, and then after that, I went to FDIC to make sure that my credit score is safe. And then not FDI, or FTC, rather, FTC, Federal Trading Commission. Oh my goodness! I went to FTC, I went to FDIC, and then I filed for a police report, and at the same time, I filed for a um, FBI report, cybercrime report, IC3. So those are the things that I did just to make sure that I would be able to recover whatever I can recover. So what's best about this is we have cybercrime, cybersecurity. We have to educate ourselves, and we would like to thank Fred Brandon. I know there's something going on, and from there, that's it for now. I would like to thank everyone for being here. Stay safe, be safe. God bless you all. We're gonna reach out to you later on and update you on what happened. This is Doc Vince signing out. Bye bye.